Yo, welcome to UPRAWR's RAWRCAST, where we interview everyone from rock stars to porn stars, from actors to influencers. The last two people we've had on were State Champs and Fume for Friends, so make sure you check those out. But today we have the amazing, the incredible While She Sleeps.
Yeah.
So,
what's up?
Incredible,
Guys,
thank you.
The incredible.
Incredible, we'll take that.
Thanks for coming in and doing it. It's been a while since we had you guys here.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us.
So, I mean, it's been a few years since you played the Asylum.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, 4 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
what was the
roughly?
last tour we did?
It's
this?
your memory.
No, well, my memory is disintegrating by the day.
I've got
I think
memory
the
for
pandemic has something to do with it.
I
My
just
brain
can't
got a
remember
chance
shit.
to slack off and not retain any information. So now I'm just.
I think
useless.
it's the
like
juice
being
that they're
like
pumping
that.
into you, making your mind all crazy.
Yeah, well, I think I felt considerably dumber after the vaccine. So I think it's something to do with that.
But yeah, about 4 years we're saying.
4 years. Did we do this on the URW tour?
I think that was the last one.
Was
Yeah.
that the last time?
think it
2017 that was, wasn't it?
So, I mean, quite a lot
4
has
years,
changed
you're
for you
quite
guys
right.
since then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the big things, obviously, is you've dropped your label, you've dropped, I think, management, and you're doing everything yourself.
All right.
All right. Self-contained.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's the first thing to talk about then, because you guys are doing it as independently as you possibly can, right?
Yeah,
We
definitely.
are,
yeah.
I mean, you said a lot of things have changed. They changed, and then we kind of brought it back to where we started it all with URW. We just kind of figured that it was the best model for us. It worked so well. Our fans got behind it, and we kind of it took us to a new level that we were never hitting before that, you know. And it was just exciting. It was so exciting for us. And when we kind of went back into like an older kind of model, with labels and all that stuff, it wasn't necessarily a bad experience, but we could tell that it was lacking a little bit of magic, you know? So yeah, we thought, why not go back to doing that?
Doing yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit different with you guys to other bands, because between you all do so many different things. You're almost like a media company. If you didn't actually have your music, you could still actually be the same guys.
Yeah.
You'd have a fucking media empire.
We've definitely got like a Yorkshire work ethic where it's like, dig in, get the job done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of what we do now. Like with the Sleep Society, we are kind of like a media company. We're like pumping content to everybody who's in the society, and it is a full-time job, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's pretty full on, but yeah, we love it.
It's so good that like, I don't know, I feel like every band will just sit there and say that their fan base is the best, but we put out information on new records and like say to our fan base, like, this is the way we're going to be doing things now. Hopefully they get behind it, and they sit with it for a minute, and they're so responsive and like support what we're doing, and they always seem to understand what we're trying to get at, which is, it's not always an easy thing to do, like, and help people understand. So yeah, they're always amazing, stood behind us.
It's like when someone gets married, innit, and they're like, "Oh, I'm the happiest man in the world right now." I'm like, "Hang on, I'm pretty sure I am actually." I think I was the happiest man in the world. Yeah, but it is that thing. But our fans are just like so fucking cool, and we're so fortunate to have people who are behind us like that, And it's kind of like now we've created like the Sleep Society, and everybody's in there. It is like we kind of crafting our future together, which is amazing. And yeah, we're just there's like no barrier now. There's nothing like that. We're like completely on board, and yeah, we're just so connected now, which is great.
Which is cool, man. I mean, the first thing I can think of that was similar to that, but it was for a different reason, was Linkin Park, because they had their version like 20 years ago before Patreon and all these things, but nobody else seemed to.
It's definitely.
It became sort of like a fan thing where fan pages would form.
Yeah, more of a fan club, yeah.
Weren't
But it's
fans
definitely not a
actually
new
leading
thing
it?
by any means.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thrice did it. Thrice did it back in the day as well, didn't they? And they've just reformed theirs, the Thrice Alliance, which is sick.
It's just like a fan club, really. But the understanding of the fact that streaming is kind of destroying music a bit and trying to restore that balance is where we've put it.
Yeah.
So on the streaming then, because I agree with that. So, obviously your thing is you've dropped the label and the management. Have you dropped anything else? I'm guessing you're still using an agent.
Dropped a log earlier, but
Dropped a bollock a few times. No, we have a company that helps us with like distribution and stuff like that, because on the URW record cycle we took on literally everything, and we kind of realised that this is a lot to do.
Definitely.
So we do have like an outside body helping with that. But like, yeah, the you know.
Especially with the society being a month by month thing, obviously we want to keep it exciting. Like Loz said, we've got quite a Yorkshire work ethic, and we want everybody to get as much bang for their buck as they possibly can. So we're not like letting it go stale in there. We're like, we're literally fucking eating hot sauce that is almost killing us.
Oh God. Have you seen it? Has anyone seen anything of that recently? We did a Hot Ones episode on the Sleep Society, man.
It is fucking killer. But what I loved about it was like how Loz went into it like old big man, just being like, this ain't gonna affect me. Yeah. And you tried to hold it together as much as you could. But I did it just before Loz, because mine was episode 2 that's yet to be released. And I fucking knew how bad it was. I didn't even swallow it. And I was just like, no matter how much of a brave face you're putting on, you're gonna go down anyway.
So the last one, what was the last one called? Like
Psycho Juice.
Psycho Juice. And I was like, well, that sounds pretty mental anyway. And lathered it on. I pulled over at the side of the motorway 3 hours later after I'd done it on the drive home, and I couldn't stand up. I'm on my hands and knees vomiting on the hard shoulder, literally. Like toes curled, stomach cramps. Just don't eat the stuff.
That's the level of commitment we're putting in, just to give you an idea.
Well, if it's a good watch, I'll do it, you know what I mean?
We did a similar thing to that here. It was in Newcastle when we had the club there.
Yeah.
It was a stage competition. I can't remember what they were winning, but we had 6 people on stage, and they had to eat the hot. Like, it got progressively hotter until they
yeah.
And the one that there was a load of like big dudes that were gonna like man the fuck up, and they were gonna own it. And then the one that won was this tiny young girl, like she was probably 19, like the most petite one on stage, and she completely owned all of them. Like, didn't look like it bothered her at all.
Yeah.
But then she disappeared, and we were like, where the fuck is this girl gone? I think she won like a TV or something. We were like, we need to give her a prize.
Yeah.
And then we found her backstage in Newcastle. There was like 6-7 backstage rooms. Most of them were locked. And she'd got into one of them, and she'd spent an hour thrown up in the shower.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even throw up in the toilet.
It was weird because I did the challenge, and like my hands were fizzing, and like I couldn't feel my face, and I was like losing my hearing and going all weird, like tripping out on this hot sauce. And then like it kind of died out a little bit, and I was like, do you know what? That was all right. And I think as my body started trying to digest it, I just needed to get that stuff out of me, so I like made myself sick. But my like toes were curling. I literally couldn't drive my car.
But who's eating that for fun? That's what I want to know.
It's got to just be for the sheer hot of the sauce. I don't think people are going, oh, yum.
Not at all, man.
You just be poorly all the time after.
Yeah.
Crazy. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But that's these people in the Sleep Society, they're supposed to be our friends.
Yeah.
And they're punishing you.
That's what they asked. we put like a poll out, and we're like, what are you enjoying? And people were like, you know, was it like Come Die With Me? We did like a parody of like Come Down With Me, and people were like, oh, we love that. So we were like, what else would you like us to do a parody of? And the most suggested one was Hot Ones. So, you know what I mean? They ask and we give.
I'm looking forward to like your Sean Longs and your Matt Welsh's getting involved with this hot sauce thing. It's only me and you that have been through it so far.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, mate.
I mean, I won't recommend it, like.
They've learnt the lesson just watching you, man. Yeah. So, with the streaming then, do you think it's that moving forward there's less of a place for labels and management and that sort of thing? Or would there still be a place for that if streaming wasn't fucking everything?
Yeah, I think that one.
You think that?
I think like we're not trying to come out of the gate with like how we're doing things and say that like everything's fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like it's everyone has its place. Like management and labels, when you first start in a band, you need that stuff to get your exposure, like show you how things are done. You know, like it really helps with like the rest of your career learning that stuff. But I do think that with how things are outbalanced with streaming, it becomes very difficult for bands to sustain it. A career in music as it is. So with all those extra costs coming out, if everyone wants a slice of the pie, do you know what I mean? So it gets really difficult with everyone trying to grab that to be able to keep rolling. And I think down to our band, it's only because we've like dug our heels in. We're very determined and committed people in this band that we've got through it. Like there's been a few times like on the fault side of management and labels where it's been fucked up, and we've had to really dig ourselves out of a hole, and it got to the point for us where we're like, we could do this stuff better ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of that thing, like no one cares about your band as much as you, so why are you having outside bodies do everything for you and at times messing up or whatever. Definitely, so that was just kind of like our experience,
and it's hard, isn't it? Because like like managements and labels, especially labels, like, you know, they recoup all their costs. And if we're like every single penny that we make off the records is going back to the labels, and then not only like paying it off, it's leaving us in debt, then how is anybody going to sustain it? How are you going to drive your career into something that you want to, you know, drive it into, you know? It's crazy. Like, and if we didn't have the support system we had when we were first starting out, you know, I only moved out of my childhood home like 3 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and it shouldn't take that long.
It's been a long old apprenticeship.
It has. It's been a long fucking apprenticeship.
But at the same time, like we say, these like outside bodies from the, you know, in the industry, they do help you. They do push you into place. Like, and it's like streaming as well. Like, without that, people overseas aren't getting your music or whatever. So all these things are good, but it needs to work for you, for the band and for the way you want to move forward. We've always been a very DIY ethic kind of band. We've always done a lot for ourselves, our own artworks, videos, all that sort of stuff. So it just came to the point for us where we were like, let's just cut all ties and like try and just do it all ourselves.
I think it was heading this way because obviously now, like, everybody's you know, the internet it's not been around very long, has it? It's still quite in its infancy, and I think it was always heading this way. And why wouldn't you support your band your favorite band? Are you okay?
I'm dying.
Why wouldn't you support them directly? You know, we can do that now. So why not? Like, streaming services, they utilized it, but I don't understand why bands and the artists who create everything, create so much enjoyment for everybody around the world, why are we the ones at the bottom of the pyramid scheme?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up, man. I think it will change though, because the way Spotify works isn't actually sustainable for them. Because they're not charging enough, it's too cheap, man.
Yeah, definitely.
10 quid a month is ridiculous.
And I think the worst thing now, like there's so many like teenagers who were born in like, you know, the late 2000s or whatever. That's all they've known. So they just expect music and all this stuff to be free. And it's the same with movies, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, they expect it to be free or cheap.
I think that's a massive problem with a lot of things, but massively in music, because things like Spotify have devalued the music.
Yeah.
Like, people think that they should get it for free, which is ridiculous because how much work has gone into it. Like, why the fuck should they get something for free that you've had to put your time into?
Yeah, and I just think like the general, like, I'm not slating anyone, but the general public who aren't like typical music lovers will just go on and listen, and that's it. They don't think any further into it than that, like how much it costs to actually record the stuff in the first place, and you've got the band and the crew and everyone else. So it's really cool when, like, you know, people do pick up vinyls and shirts and everything, and I think for us, where we're at with the Sleep Society and the latest record, like, we don't mind if you're not in the society and you're just grabbing a shirt from the show or just buying a ticket to see us live. Like, it's all good for us, and we appreciate wherever that support comes from. But the society is just a place for anyone that gives a fuck about this band as much as we do. Yeah. That's where they can show it and get a bit more for their money.
It's two ends of the spectrum, isn't it? Because like all those like social media and all that stuff, it's connected everybody around the world, and it's brought everybody closer together. But at the same time, it's kind of made something, you know, like an album release or like releasing a song or anything that you've worked so hard on seems so trivial. It's just as simple as a swipe past, double click and like, and yeah. And that's what it all boils down to. Like the past 2 years or whatever, how long it takes us to write and record a record, there's blood, sweat and tears that have literally gone into that. Do you know what I mean? Like emotional breakdowns, because that's your life, isn't it? Like we turn up to the studio, we're there, we like write lyrics together, write songs together, but we still have real life shit going on. We're not just these people. That's not just our entire life. So, and your entire life and energy goes into making that stuff. And, you know, we have to, like, the band is at the center of our universe, and like all our partners know it, our friends and family know it, you know, like there's so much energy that gets put into it. And, you know, so, and to get it boiled down to like a little swipe and like now
they've got a new record out. Cool.
And then especially like if somebody is like the unsolicited fucking thing where they're like, yeah, I don't like this. Well, no one asked you. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
That pisses me off so much.
We're like proper punks, you know what I mean? You only have to get us started on something and it's like, fuck it all.
Well, that's the thing, you can read a million great comments, then you get that one little bastard.
Don't start on music journalism with me. Yeah. One guy comes to your show, 3 out of 10. Who are you?
Who are you? Where's your show?
Who are you? 3 out of 10.
Where's your show?
Where's
mate?
your gig?
I'm gonna come and give you a fucking 1. Just
To be honest, we do pretty well with gig reviews.
Yeah,
to
they're
be
all
honest.
right.
But like, that's just a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
One guy might not even like your band, but we'll send him to review the show. It's going to be a low rating.
We get it all the time with the club night. We put out music posters where it's
Yeah.
just like, here's a list of 50 bands that you'll hear at the club night.
Cool.
And we'll get...
And everyone just says, "Where's my sugar?"
Well, loads of people will support it, but then you'll get the odd one or two that they'll pick on one artist. Yeah, usually something like Taylor Swift, because I fucking like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, you don't want everything to be fucking heavy. Like, you're enjoying yourself.
Defo.
You want the girls to dance with you. And we'll put that on because we play it, and then you'll get one dude or like 2 or 3 of them. It's always a fucking guy that's like, "Oh, fuck that, man.
Some like
I'm
troll.
never going there again if they're going to play that shit."
It's
Oh,
just
you
weird,
just-
isn't it? But
yeah.
would he say that to your face? Probably not.
No, because the fucking pussies. That's why they're doing it online.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, about like just this whole negative, positive comment thing in general. Why is it that like the negative one, you can have 1,000 positive comments, but the one negative one is
the one that sticks.
what you cling to.
It's provoking,
just like,
isn't it?
fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying, but it's almost like, because it's all on your phone, it also like it's turned life into a game. It's like, you know, you don't think at the other end of that thing is somebody's actual life, but it's turned everybody into this weird character.
What's
in
that
a
move?
game.
It's like the movies that you see now where they're like, it is a game.
Well,
and you're
dude,
like, right, you like go off and kill someone and get points and you stay alive. Like,
Life right
we're
now-
headed for that shit. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. In another 50 years, it's going to
I
be
don't
mental.
even think that, man. I think right now we're living in a Black Mirror episode completely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
People don't value the other person on the other end. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
If there's no real life consequence to something, you think you can get away with it.
Yeah.
And also, people nowadays would rather be famous for doing something shitty than not famous at all.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
if you can get a like on something, you'll do it for, even if it's like for something that's totally dickhead, rather than not get the like.
we just sound like some like right mardy old dads, don't we?
But fuck that TikTok shit.
Shit's changing and I don't like it, all
Everyone's
right?
going through the same shit though.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the thing. In real life, everyone's like, it's bullshit, but then online, there's all these fucking cocks that sit in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Don't actually want to go to a show because they're too boring. And they
Yeah.
say, how can I make sitting in my bedroom exciting?
Yeah.
I can go and shout at someone.
I love a good old rock night, me.
Yeah.
Live for it.
You have lived for it.
I did
and
live for
still
it.
do. I mean, we're at a rock club,
Yep.
so
And there's an after party.
Yeah.
we're probably not going to partake in that though. COVID and that.
That's fair.
Because
Because you want to be able to play tomorrow.
yeah, that's the thing. We
yeah.
need to like really limit like the people we're around. So
It's weird because we obviously you do live stuff, but we're kind of we're doing gigs and we go into and from the warehouse, so we're kind of in a bubble with our partners in the band.
yeah.
And like we're coming here today, and it's like, oh shit!
And it's like playing to like a few hundred people is like, that's risk enough for us right now.
You've gone from like 0 to 100 because the second stuff started, you've done like what, Bloodstock, Download, Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
You know, on tour,
Resurrect,
like,
yeah, we
within
went-
the space of what, 3 weeks.
yeah, we were really lucky with the whole
A few weeks. Yeah.
album dropping and stuff, because when COVID first hit and they were like started to shut airports, we were in America, and we were like, fuck, like we're gonna get out of here, so we're gonna get stuck in America. Obviously, no one really knew what the extent of what was going on, so we flew back, and we were scheduled after that to be writing and recording anyway. So that was like, we were like, that's worked out pretty well, really. And then, literally the day that they said, you know, shops can reopen,
The album was coming out.
the album was coming out, and we did some pop-up stores as well. So we've been like, that schedule for us is actually, we've been really, really lucky. So we're in a position to be like, yeah, we'll play shows. Which we've had friends in bands like, I was speaking to Ben from Neck Deep, and he's just like, it's so frustrating releasing a record and then not being able to tour it. It's like all work and no
Yeah,
play,
there's
isn't it?
there's so many bands who like caught the wrong wave with it, which is really unfortunate. But what can you do when you've got something scheduled to come out? That's it, innit?
So yeah, we've been really lucky. We're grateful of how it's panned out for us, really.
At least because you guys can do so much, you've been able to do all the online stuff. Because there's a lot of bands that don't do anything themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just sat at home being like, shit, what the fuck do I do next?
Yeah.
They can't sit and make these videos.
Yeah. Again, that's just like our work ethic, and that's just how we've kind of curated our lives from the beginning. We always just like to get stuck in, and when we didn't like have anybody out doing our videos, I literally like got an action camera. There was, don't get me wrong, the content I was putting out at first was abysmal, but
Still is.
it still is. It's absolutely
No
horrendous.
improvement.
But yeah, you've just got to get stuck in, and now it's kind of like everybody in the band's got their own like something that they bring to the table.
Speaking of content related to Birmingham,
Yeah.
you know, Mutt's Motorcycles.
Yeah.
Aaron's just done a fucking wicked new video for.
I like the tone in your voice there when you said wicked. It sounded like you meant it.
It's wicked. It's honestly wicked. It's amazing. Check it out.
Yeah, it's on their Instagram, just Motorcycles.
Yeah.
We kind of did a collaboration, me and Sav, our drummer. We've been talking about that for a while. And it's kind of like the whole premise behind it is like Sav's experience, because Sav he rides motorbikes and is obviously a drummer, and it was like the comparison of how the two feel quite the same in his head. So that's kind of the premise behind it. So it was cool. It was really fun to make, but it was long.
Do us a favor, head over to Mutt, leave a comment saying
check it out.
Wicked. And yeah,
wicked.
Just have a look.
Couple of fire emojis maybe.
We'll share it out on our page.
Amazing. Yeah, that'd be great. It's honestly just the work, just the video that Aaron has created is wicked. So
thanks, man. That really takes the edge off the earlier comment when you said my work was still shit. So thank you.
It's still shit.
The rest of it's shit.
Yeah.
You got lucky with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Going back to you saying that you were in America. So, because I saw when you were over there, you were like doing a health kick or something.
Oh yeah, we're trying to reignite that flame today. Day one.
This is day one of the new health kick.
Yeah.
So did that go well the first time?
Yeah, it went really well. It was like boot camp, wasn't it?
Working out during, like, I started running during COVID just because I didn't have shows and I need to get rid of that energy.
Yeah.
And it really helped, like, a lot. So I've tried to just keep that up. Like,
it's hard to keep once you're in the momentum, that it's easy to keep up, but then when you fall off, it's quite a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Insanity workout?
Yeah.
We did that. We all completed the whole 2 months of it. And I think I dropped like 2 stone, and everyone was like, Loz was looking great. Everyone was looking great. And then the slippery slope of the pandemic started, didn't it? And we were still carrying on. We were working out quite a bit, but then
we were like prison rules in America. It was like, it doesn't matter where you are or like, you know, what time it is. You get up, like where the bus is, you get up in the morning, we do Insanity. I remember once we did it in New York, we did it under a bridge, and there was like,
it was freezing.
It was freezing. There was bird shit and needles everywhere, and we're like in our fucking grey tracksuits, just like,
like, get the fucking tracksuits on, let's go.
Glass all over. But we kind of doing press ups in glass, and we
kind of egged each other on. If somebody was like not feeling it that day, you're just like, no, let's fucking go, get your shit on.
And then we kind of came back from the States and sort of all had a bit of time at home, and I was like, well, started eating, because I'd lost the weight then. I started eating stuff that I wanted to eat but still working out, and then that kind of slowly crosses over to like, I'm kind of eating now and not working out as much, to being like, do you know what, I'm going to order some donuts.
Yeah, you got a sweet tooth, that's your downfall, isn't it?
Out sweet.
Yeah.
All the donuts. I miss donuts. It's the one thing, 'cause I've been vegan for a long time, but there were a lot of big like donut shops that popped up.
Yeah.
And they're the only thing that seems to have disappeared from lockdown.
Oh, I bet it's difficult.
Most things have sort of got through, but the donut fucking shops.
Yeah,
there's a couple in Sheffield that are pretty good. You'd enjoy. Yeah. There's the Suited Baker, something like that.
Long way to go for a donut though.
There is a lot. Yeah, it is long. They do deliver
Sometimes
though.
you need it.
They do
300 quid delivery.
They do send stuff around the country. Also like Satan's Glaze, I think it is.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, they're all vegan as well.
Why don't you just do an UPRAWR vegan donut shop within the building?
I actually genuinely want to do that. When lockdown happened and we were like, maybe this is going to go to shit, maybe we're going to lose everything. Like one of the things I was like, I want to fucking make donuts.
I'm like Rodney and Del Boy Trotter me. I'm always trying to come up with like new ideas to make a bit of cash. I want to do a champagne and cheesecake truck.
It's quite a niche market there.
Who don't like champagne and cheesecake?
I mean, everybody does, but like at weddings usually.
But yeah, but you could do it at weddings, but because it's just champagne and cheesecake, you could do it not at weddings as well.
Yeah.
Parties, weddings.
Yeah, you could. Or just, I thought you meant like if you just parked up like in town centre or whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
People are doing the shopping, just like, a bit of champagne and cheese.
I think you could.
Oh, you probably could, yeah.
And I've got another idea. Probably a terrible idea, but I have in my drawer from touring, I must have like 7 to 10 shavers that I've either lost the grades for or the charger for, and they just sit there. So my other idea, I forgot I had a
Oh, what about Burger Cone as well? That one
I forgot about that. Just this thing where you can go on, click it, and it just tells you if they've got your charger for your shaver or grades or whatever you need in stock, and they just ship them out.
Is this an app?
Isn't that?
It could be an
So
app.
specifically for lost.
You're going to say that eBay, aren't you?
chargers.
Yeah, I'm sure you could Google that.
You say that. I've been on
You've
trying to look.
tried.
I've got like a 200 quid shaver at home, and I can't for the life of me find the right
I
stuff. for
can't
it.
honestly. I can't see that as an app taking off for lost chargers.
How many shavers have you got at home? That
Just
work?
one, and it works. I've
Just
not.
one.
In all honesty, I actually do have one that's the same. I've only got one that I can't use because of that, but yeah, I've got no charge.
All right. Well, I did say it might not be a good idea. I was just throwing it out. There.
However,
Do have one.
I do think Burger Cone.
My other
is a
idea was
brilliant
Burger
idea.
Cone.
And I wanted to go in on him.
You're gonna have to remind me because I've kind of slightly forgot what that
Burger
idea
Cone.
was.
It's
I remember it, but
Burger Cone. It's burger and a cone. It's self-explanatory, isn't it? Basically, it was like
I mean, I like the sound of it. already.
burger. It was burger, drink, and fries all in one little kind of
Cone.
cone in a cone. So you've got your compartment for your burger.
Yep.
And then the other side is the fries, but then the whole cone is the drink itself, and you've got a straw that goes through the middle of it. It's for festivals, really, specifically, isn't it?
It was so you can eat on the move. Wasn't
Eat
it?
on the
It
move
was
at a
festival based.
Yeah. So you could walk
it's all
around
in a
because it's
cone.
when you're like getting burger and chips and a drink from a vendor, and you like got both hands full. You need to sit down somewhere, but if you've got it in a cone, you can walk about with it, and you've got your burger, your drink, and fries all in one hand.
Get your Burger Cone, only $1.99.
Burger Cone is just it's
And $1.99's dirt cheap as well.
I think you should up the prices a little
Yeah,
bit.
$5.99.
But it's gonna have to be a pretty big cone in it, like
Yeah.
But it's in the
No,
shape
but then
of
you
a
have
cone.
small
fit
cone,
the
medium
whole
cone,
pint.
large cone. It's
Yeah.
extra large cone. It's up to you.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but like the beauty of a cone is like you can always fit it in your hand right at the bottom, no matter how big it is.
And that was the main thing for gig goers was that you can hold it.
Yeah.
And then you've
Giving
got
away
your
all your
sauce,
ideas
You got
here,
your
but-
sauces.
If we see Burger Cone in next year's festivals, we'll know that somebody's took the idea.
I think you guys should do it, man. Raise that money, Patreon.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right.
I think you should, what's it? Kickstarter? Is that the original? thing?
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Burger
No,
Cone.
what was the original one before Patreon?
Indiegogo?
There was something else you could
Yeah.
put. You could be like, I want to make this, and then you
Yeah.
tell people how much you needed to raise.
Yeah. That was
Whatever that was.
What do you
Whatever
think
it
about
was.
Burger Cone? Just off the top of your head, do you think it's cool or?
I think you should do it, man. We've got a burger truck here.
Yeah.
It would work.
We could
But
try
the
and
only-
see if
the
people go for it. I bet they would. They'd be like, I'm stood at a gig, why wouldn't I get a cone?
We did have some backlash off the rest of the lads, and there was like, well, what if you do want to sit down with it? Well, so you have some tables sat around your vendor, and you have little holes in the table, so you can just put it. So you have to specifically.
It's a
eat-
no-brainer. Like, say no more, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that could
Do
be
it.
a burger cone hole for all I know.
Yeah.
That's the holder. There you go.
There you go.
Sorted, mate. Set it up here. You get it off the ground, we'll invest.
Done.
I like how he's involved now as well. He's not just,
Like it's on camera as well. You can't take.
he's not hearing about it.
Can't
He's
take it
actually a part of a company now as well.
Yeah. You're in.
I'm a shareholder.
5%.
First one out of the warehouse in Sheffield. First one ever, burger cone.
I think we should do it. It's been talked about so much.
I come up with a lot worse ideas.
Yeah. Like the shaver app.
You say that.
Well, you get that started. I'd love to see it.
He said it's eBay.
Silent.
Yeah, we'll leave that there then. Bad idea.
Right.
I think stick with the cone.
I'll throw all my old shavers in, landfill then.
So, right, pinning this conversation.
Right.
Let's go.
Back to America then. So
Oh shit, we're still in America. Sorry, that
fucking
was
love
a big
America.
time.
Burger cone would be massive in America. Wouldn't it?
So the thing, it doesn't go together at all. But in my head, I was like, this is what I thought of when I watched the video that was on, is it your website? I guess the one that talks about Sleep Society.
Yeah.
So, and I mean this positively. This isn't a negative, but it's so well put together. I almost feel like I'm being like indoctrinated into a cult.
Yeah.
Because
You are. That's why.
that video finishes, and I'm like, I want to give them my money.
Well, the initial one that we put
Right.
out. The initial one that we put out.
It's still on the website now.
Yeah. Yeah, the what is the Sleep Society?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking cool, man. And
Thanks.
the only
I
time
put that together as well.
was that you.
Dog shit.
Oh,
Dog
see,
shit.
see, you've done loads of great shit. You're a liar.
I am, yeah.
So the first thing that I thought of when I saw that, because I was like, what else reminds me of that feeling? And it's Vegas. Because when I go to Vegas, all I want to do is give them my fucking money. Like, every
The society advert reminds you of Vegas.
It does, man. I was like, there's no other band. I'd give Blink my money because I love Blink. I tried to invest in Tom DeLonge's space company, and it was all like, you couldn't do it anymore. Yeah.
Oh, has he stopped that?
I think he got whatever he wanted, and then you couldn't do it.
I think he's got to the point where they have to release some information and are going to.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was all aiming for. Like, you've got to release the documents that the secret agents
Apparently he's
got.
got some crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
That's the next thing after COVID. I've heard that they're gonna push onto us. Like, they're gonna make the media is gonna make us afraid that aliens are real and that they could invade, so that when they actually come, we hate them and fight them off rather than just accept them.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, genuinely, people are going to give me shit for this, with COVID, if it was the fucking aliens. Because this is the thing, right? If you were going to invade another world, you could either go and blow shit up, which is going to make it a mess for you when you go down, or you could just tell them to all be scared of getting next to each other and, like, breathing.
Yeah, well, I think all the leaders are like some sort of reptilian overlords anyway.
There you go. They told us to be scared of breathing.
There's some sort of base on the moon as well. Have you heard Moon's Hollow and all that?
Yeah.
That's a fucking that's a spaceship, in it.
It's been towed in.
Yeah, it definitely has. And
They control the weather.
they control the weather. They control everything. And the moon, like, it shouldn't technically be there with how big it is, and this like a planet the size of Earth, like the gravitational. It's the moon's too big. It's too big to make any like sense physics wise.
And the Earth's flat.
Well, if the Earth's flat, we all
That's pretty easy.
I've got an idea. Are you any flat earthers in here?
I mean,
I've got an idea for a reality TV show. We're fucking selling all our ideas here, aren't we?
Don't tell everyone.
I want to tell them though.
I want to hear it, man.
What about, like, for a reality TV show, get like a load of flat earthers, give them like a certain amount of money each, and they have to go and find the edge of the Earth. If it's flat, they can surely find it.
I mean, yeah.
I'd be fully into that, but I reckon they're just excuses, like the military's at the edge and you can't get past.
Yeah.
Go and find
I've
out.
got another good game. For all the people that don't think COVID's real, send them into the wards where they're looking after patients and see if they come out with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? People like, I'm not wearing a mask, it's not real. Well, you should be on front line sorting it then.
Exactly.
Did. Anyway.
So, I don't even know how we got to that.
Neither do I. There's tangents happening everywhere.
Aliens, Tom DeLonge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
you were
it, yeah.
saying something about, we're a cult.
You love Blink.
We're a cult, apparently.
Yeah, you're a cult.
All right. Okay.
That's pretty
I mean, if we are a cult, we're not a bad one.
There could be worse
Yeah.
ones. We've not got a gun to anyone's head. We're not forcing anybody to do it.
The goth in me wants us to be a cult anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Rituals
But,
and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we just think it's a cool thing to. This is just a glorified fan club, innit? And we're giving them some, like we said, we're eating shit that's hot and making ourselves ill. So
And that's all we do in the society.
that's all we do. We just eat hot things.
You're not going to
Tune in next week.
I think the thing that with the Sleep Society is that when we first got into sort of new metal and emo or whatever it was that we got into, that, like, the sense of community, like going down to your first shows and, you know, you see someone else wearing the same hoodie as you on the school bus or whatever, and you just like, you feel part of this thing. You feel like you're in the community. And I feel like that's, the Sleep Society for me gives people that connection. And I think the community side of things for me is why it's cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And like, you know, we like do like group Zoom calls with everybody, and when we were releasing Nervous, we kind of try and theme them and like talk about certain things. And when we were releasing Nervous, we had like a big safe space with everybody to like talk about our problems, essentially.
That was mind blowing too, wasn't it?
It was so moving. A lot of the people who would like literally just like opening up about their problems that for the first time in front of people, and then we also unloaded all our problems onto them, poor people.
Sounds like a great place to be, this, doesn't it?
Well, it's like, it is that thing though. It's like we are there for each other, and it's such a great thing. And just to be able to do something like that, to be able to like give somebody a platform and, you know, just to talk about the things that are on the mind, because I think that's where we're going wrong as a culture in general. I think, and especially in the UK, it's very stigmatized to talk about your mental health, and and I think doing something like that is very important for people.
There are people that were like coming forward that have like never openly spoken in a large group before, and were like, they're actually just telling us about some of their shit that they go through. Do you know what I mean? And it's just those little things that can help people like build confidence or anything like that. So that was a really cool time.
And that's kind of what we're like in the society as well. We're trying to take everything, all our skill sets, and we're trying to like give it to people. We're trying to, you know, if you want to start a band or whatever, Matt like does like management, like seminars, like webinars,
Web design
they're called.
stuff.
Yeah, and it does all that stuff. And we all try to give share our skill set with people. And, you know, maybe people can like skip like some steps that we did wrong, you know, like as we were coming up as a band, and you know, maybe it'll give people more of a fighting chance. I think now more than ever, like that's what we need.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, man. I mean, going back to the mental health thing, I think it's really awesome when that sort of thing's happening, because, I mean, we did a similar sort of thing here a couple of years ago. So we did launch a charity called the UPRAWR Mental Health Foundation.
Nice.
Amazing.
We launched it in 2019, and we launched it by having a seminar here. So we got a load of people in that were sort of reasonably well known.
Yeah.
They talked about what they'd been through. We had people in the crowd asking questions and that sort of stuff.
Cool.
And we had Oliver Phelps, who was one of the Weasley twins in Harry Potter.
Right.
He came and he talked about it, and it was the first time he'd ever publicly spoke about it.
Yeah.
And it was fucking
That's amazing.
deep as fuck, man. It was, like, it was moving, and it was,
And I bet he's like, you know, been through some trauma. I mean, because like being famous that young can really have you can definitely develop mental problems just because, you know, you have to be on such a regimented schedule and so many people knowing who you are when you're that young, which is, you know, I can imagine.
oh, it's crazy, man. Like, it'd be really difficult to deal with, and he obviously struggled with that. And this was
cool.
the first time he'd spoke about it.
That's cool.
But it was so awesome, like, as an event, because it was the first thing we've ever had here where it was completely silent. Like, it was seated, which we don't usually do. But when he was talking, when any of them were talking, to be fair, you could have heard a fucking pin drop, because people were so just like passionate about this thing.
And people are so engaged with it as well. And I think it shows how much everybody's just ready to speak to each other on that level, instead of these like fake pleasantries and talking about the weather and shit. It's like, if somebody asks me how I am and I'm not going through a very, like, if I'm not feeling very good, the thing that makes me anxious about going into public when I'm not feeling great is the fact that I have to put on a front. And like, I would be at so much more ease if it was the cultural norm to if you are not going through a very good time, that you would be comfortable enough to say that you're not, and then we could talk to each other about it.
Yeah, definitely, man. But I think it's moving in that direction. I think it's way more common now than it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Definitely. Even 5 years ago. Yeah.
It
It is definitely. And that's why we want to like be a part of that movement as well. We've all been through it, haven't we? Like, we've all been through like our own problems. And I think it is so important to do.
Yeah. I mean, when we started it, 'cause unfortunately, I've never suffered with anything like that. And I was completely oblivious to practically anything that was going on.
Yeah.
And the reason I got into it and started looking at it and being like, shit, was because of Chester from Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And obviously that happened. And I remember just being like, what the fuck, man? Like, why is nobody addressing this shit? Apparently it's a big deal. Yeah. And then I started talking to a load of my mates who I knew had issues, but I didn't fucking know anything about them. And they started talking to me. I was like, man, if no one else is going to fucking do anything, I'm going to.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's sort of where it came from. But I was completely oblivious. Like, to have been in this place as well, where it turned out a lot of the fucking people that worked here, a lot of the people I was friends with.
Yeah, I think it's different for everybody as well. Like, it's not, no two people are experiencing exactly the same thing. So I think that's what makes it hard to sort of get into with people if they don't feel exactly the same. It's like hard to relate. But yeah, I think once people open up, it's a lot better.
Definitely, yeah. And I think social media especially, like I said, there's two sides to the coin with everything, isn't there? Like, social media and everything is so great with connecting people, but I think it also perpetuates this really bad kind of trend that we have about showing our best selves online, even if we're not, somebody can be depressed and crying and then like wipe a tear away, take a picture of a smile, post it, saying wearing this cute outfit today or something, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
that's usually me.
That's usually Loz. He's usually wearing cute
outfits.
He's usually wearing cute outfits. He might delete it later though. But do you know what I mean? Like, and I think we need to start like being more honest with everybody around us, because why is that the norm? Why is that the norm to have to put on a front with everybody?
I mean, I think social media is a huge problem with it, because I mean, the way I think about things is relating it obviously to club night because that's what I've done for 12 years. But when I was 18, it was normal to go out 6 nights a week. Like,
definitely.
Like,
Us too, man.
Oh yeah, £10 all you can drink kind of vibes.
Yeah,
man.
everywhere was doing that. It was like you went out. If you wanted to meet a girl, you went out. If you wanted to see your friends, you went out. You were constantly surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Whereas now,
It's the culture in the UK, isn't it? That's what you do, yeah.
like, but it's not anymore. Now it's like,
Yeah.
if you go out once a week, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, which means that no one's actually interacting with other fucking people.
And I think isn't it weird how there's
the lack of human interaction, I think, fucks people up.
It definitely does, yeah. And I think the pandemic showed us like how much we do need each other. And I think just going back to like the partying thing, I think it's funny how there's some connection with how much a particular culture drinks and how much the mental health kind of side of things is stigmatized in that place. Like if you go to America, it's so normal to say I go and see a therapist, you know, and they're open to talk about it. They don't have half the drinking problem that we do. And I think it's because we are just socially anxious, as you know, it opens us up. It makes us talk to each other on a level that we don't feel comfortable enough to without it, you know. And I think that's why a lot of people end up in the ruts, because it's not only it's physically and mentally addictive, isn't it? Because you form habits. And yeah, I just think that's quite interesting, like how those things go hand in hand, you know?
I mean, I think people drink more now because, I mean, only relating it to myself, but when I was going out 6 nights a week, I wasn't getting fucked up 6 nights a week because I had shit to do the next day.
Yeah.
So it was like I might have one, but it was more about just being in the environment and being with people and going to the club.
I had the opposite problem.
See,
So.
we both had the opposite. Like I never really drink to just enjoy company and have the taste. Like if we were going out, we were getting fucked.
I
don't know why I had that. Like, why do I want to get to fucked as quickly as possible? But I just did. Like,
So we've got a massive gaping void inside our souls.
Yeah.
We're trying to fill it.
See, I'm the opposite now because like if I'm only going to go out once, I'm going to go fucking hard and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I know I'm going out all the time, then
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
depends
the
how I feel
logical
on the
way to look at it.
Yeah. But I was brute force all the time. Like it was like
For years, like, how old was I when I joined band? Like 20 or something.
20. You were 23.
And like, but even before that, I was just smashing it. And we just used to play, get absolutely wrecked to the point of like, there's a chance tomorrow won't happen. And then we'd use the show to play and sweat it all out, and then it'd be exactly the same. And we did that for like 10 years.
And this is why we don't drink anymore.
this is where you clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's the health kick.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like you
Right.
got to sort it out, haven't you?
I think we'll go through some of the questions people
All right.
sent in.
We can talk us like,
Yeah.
That's how we want it, man. It's good to have a chat. Right. First question: do you see Patreon as the way forward?
Yes.
I think
we've covered that.
That's done. Who pays on the first date?
I mean, I would typically pay. I would say I would pay just to be nice, but I think gender equality and all that, like maybe they should split the bill.
I would offer to pay.
Yeah, I would personally offer. I think anybody.
The old-fashioned chivalry in me says I'd take the
think-
bill, but
Gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I would do too.
I think some people get offended with that now, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
How
That's
dare you offer to pay for the
what I
bill?
mean, you got to be careful. I think.
I think they're lying if they say they're offended. Shit if they say they're offended.
I would offer. Yeah.
I would pay, and I would like to pay, but I would like the female to offer to at least split it, and then I would say no, it's on me.
That's,
You know what I mean?
that's where I agree. If they don't want to, if they don't want to offer, then I think you're a bit of a dick.
Yeah, then I'm
And
like,
if there's
I
a
know-
second date or a third date, and they're
That's
still
the
not
test,
offering,
innit?
I'm just
That's the
like,
test.
"All right, this isn't going anywhere.
That's
Yeah.
the test. If they offer second date, if they don't, no. But I'm married now, so I wouldn't even go on dates. So
just getting that out there.
just FYI, if Susie, if you're listening, I'm not going to go on any dates.
What was the next one? Right, which had the better crowd, Bloodstock or the Download Pilot?
I mean, our memories are terrible, and it was only a few weeks ago.
Download pilot. I think.
I'd say Download Pilot as well. I
But
think.
I don't know if that was our feeling towards it as well, because we hadn't played a festival at that point.
Yeah, and it just felt amazing to
By
play.
Bloodstock, we'd already played Download, so it was the build up towards it. They were both incredible shows.
Both incredible, but I'd probably say Download.
I would have thought downloads closer to your crowd in general.
Yeah, and it's closer
I think
to home.
so, yeah.
Is it closer to home? They were both pretty.
The thing is, I had a preconception about Bloodstock that it was like really battle jackets and swords and that, and I felt like we'd have
And swords.
and swords. Well, they have a disclaimer on the website that says, please don't bring axes and swords. So, you know, it's a mythical, magical festival. But I thought we'd have some bottles of piss coming at us and stuff. But actually, it was so cool. Like, Lamb of God are playing next year, and I stayed outside the festival actual grounds, but in like another, not the festival at all, like another campsite, and 5 minutes down the road you could just drive in. So I'm thinking about doing that for Lamb of God next year.
Defo.
Get your Grebo on.
Yeah, but no, Bloodstock was amazing, and I think just what you saying, I think download is more of your crowd. Like the preconception, I think, is that it's a bit more sweaty in general, but it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. You'd love it, man. Yeah.
I think I would. Like most of the staff that work here actually went to Bloodstock and have been going for years.
Yeah, it's wicked.
It's great.
I have no good excuse.
It's the name, innit? You're like, Bloodstock. It sounds very German.
It does. It felt German as well.
Yeah, it was cool.
German in general. Sweet. I think we're out of time, man. Thank you for coming and doing this. It's been awesome talking.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
Make sure you go and like the page. Make sure you hit subscribe. Do whatever else you need to do. And if you're watching this on YouTube, keep watching it on YouTube. There is an audio-only version on Spotify and on Amazon Music and on Google, probably, I think, and something else. Whichever one you're listening on to, make sure you click like and make sure you share it. Thanks, guys.
Peace.